It's Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance in the San Fernando Valley today, joined by Thomas Vessella. He is the Dean of Academic Affairs, focusing on career technical education at Pierce College. I grew up out here. Pierce College was in my backyard, metaphorically speaking, and so it's always good to see someone from Pierce. We appreciate you joining us. I want to talk about career technical education broadly before we get into the specifics. It's hard to deny that CTE is really there's a sweet spot for it.
Sure.
Why? What is it about CTE that's made it so popular lately?
Well, there's a couple things about CTE that are really powerful. One, the amount of jobs out there now, so that when we're moving towards outcome-based education, we're looking at jobs and job placement as one of the results and measurements. The fact that you take a major and you go to school to get something that will give you a job works really well for you. And you look at it for, workforce development, economic growth. One of our problems in this area, especially and around, is the lack of skilled labor. So if you're able to go ahead and provide the skilled labor that the industry needs, then you're looking at people taking that next step, moving forward, become productive citizens. You're talking about growing the economy that way.
And what's interesting is when you think about what's happening in Washington, the new president is focused on, I guess we'll call it, bringing back skilled jobs, whatever that may mean. And so arguably, this renewed focus on CTE, on skilled labor, if the new president is successful, could be pretty wise.
Oh, absolutely. And he's kind of riding the wave in California. We've started this with the strong workforce programs. We're looking at about $200 million across the state for CTE and CTE programs. We'll call it more and better career and technical education. So we find a way to go ahead and provide that for the students. The other part about the strong workforce is it has to tie into jobs. Is there a job available? Is it a good job? And does it pay that high wage, high demand?
Well, let's talk about one of the areas where Pierce shines. And if the president has his way, you're going to be getting a lot of your students new jobs. It's automotive tech, because he's talked about bringing back automotive jobs.
It's great. And you look at the number of cars in California over the last 20, 30, 40 years, and it's exploded. There are almost more cars than people. I wish. But somebody has to fix those, and someone has to service those. And that's one of those things you can't offshore. You're going to fix your car in your neighborhood. So we're looking at providing that service, giving that training to our students to be able to go ahead and service the cars all over this area. But we're also thinking of the future.
You're double downing on automotive tech.
Well, we're building a brand new building.
And that's what I wanted to ask you about. Tell me about this new building.
The brand new building kind of looks towards the future, and that future being the alternative fuel, electrical energy, other types of vehicles that we're going to need training for, and people are going to need to have those serviced. So this facility is focused on that type of vehicle. So this is a kind of a clean auto shop, if you will. We're looking at electric vehicles, alternative fuels, doing testing. We're still going to keep we'll call it the dirty auto shop, because that's the mechanical, the transmission, all those things that go with it. But we want to go ahead and provide for the future, because when you build a building, you don't build it for this year or next year. You're looking at 10 to 20 years that you're going to be able to go ahead and have 10, maybe 50 years. The auto shop building now, I think, is over 50 years old.
Are we feeling bullish, though, about alternative vehicles, because the new president also has been a little shaky on whether he wants to perpetuate that?
It's true. The hybrid vehicle is one of those things that you still need to service. It's part,
that's true.
engine. So those aren't going away. People are still looking at hybrids. And if you look at our local economy, California is not going to go ahead and back off. So when we provide training to the local workforce, which is what our job is as a community college, then we're looking at what does our local economy and local area look like.
Let's talk about another area where Pierce shines. And I want to remind our viewers, we're in the West San Fernando Valley, where there is open space. And if you go even further out, you're in the Conejo Valley, even more open space. And so there are folks that have all types of animals. You'd be surprised. And so you're looking at continuing to grow your vet tech program.
And our vet tech program is part of our pre-veterinary vet tech kind of program. They're all in the School of Agriculture and Science. Pierce was founded as an agriculture school. So the farm has been here a long time, longer than I think a whole bunch of the houses and other things around here. and it's a fixture in the community. The agriculture itself is necessary and needs to grow and improve, and we need to go ahead and make sure that we focus on that type of service. But in our vet tech and pre-vet area, one of the things that we're doing, our vet tech is a registered veterinary technician program.
So that's for real. I mean,
Yeah.
you leave with not only an AA, but a certificate or whatever
The
you want to call
ability
it.
to take the test.
Right.
We don't do that, but
I
they're able to
understand.
take that test, and most of our students pass that test. And they have that outside board certified. It's kind of like a nurse for animals, if you want to talk
No, it's
about.
perfect.
Is the way to
Right.
look at it. The other part is that as part of our, we'll call it workforce training and real work experience for our students, we do clinics. So where we spay and neuter animals that
So
they
it
come in.
helps the
Sure.
community.
So one of the things that we want to do with the Strong Workforce Funds is expand that work-based learning opportunity for our students, and also expand our community footprint, and kind of expand our clinic. So
Right.
we're looking at expanding the teaching hospital nature
Sure.
of our vet tech program to go ahead and expand that for a couple, 3 days to give our
It's a win-win.
community. Oh, absolutely.
It's a win-win. You mentioned nursing.
Sure.
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention nursing,
No problem.
because the reality is, and you know this much better than I
Sure.
do, we need nurses in the state of California. They're very well-paying jobs.
Absolutely.
And you have a nursing program.
And our nursing program is robust and very very dynamic. And one of the investments, and when you talk about Strong Workforce Funds, they talk about investing in a program. And investment means you're going to get a return, not immediately, or maybe immediately, but also long term. We're looking at expanding our nursing program to 20%.
Wow.
We have a waiting list. We have people we could serve, and we're looking at going ahead and expanding that program and finding a way to go ahead and service more students and meet that need of the
Right.
nursing workforce that goes with that.
It's hard to deny that we are in the Los Angeles area. Hollywood's an important part of this area. And it seems like some of your career tech programs kind of salute Hollywood, and they're getting people prepared. Commercial music, computer applications, computer science, engineering design sounds, familiar. Journalism, video.
It's true, and I'll focus a little on our journalism and we'll call it media arts is really the kind of the
Right.
broad range, where we prepare students for all sorts of jobs within that journalism broadcast area.
There you
Prepare
have it.
for your
Of
job
course.
right here.
It's
That
our
you
pleasure.
you
Right.
would be a graduate of
Well,
our
there
program.
you have it.
And it's difficult because, as you know, the business isn't just you get a job, you get the degree, you move out there, but we focus on making sure they have those skills that they can go ahead and use to get that job. And our students are doing a pretty good job.
Are you also looking through these programs at lifelong learners? Meaning maybe second career?
Sure. Well, the average age of a community college student is 30 years old.
Oh my.
So
yeah.
when you look at that type of average, you know that there are
Right.
people coming back for that. And the transfer rate from the universities to the community college
Right.
is higher than the other way.
Oh, that's interesting.
So we have a lot of people who have degrees coming back to community college to get skills. Wow. So, that's kind of the difference, is that in career technical education, our focus is on skills
Right.
and skills that lead to jobs.
His name is Thomas Vessella. He is the Dean of Academic Affairs, focusing on career technical education at Pierce College here in the West San Fernando Valley, where we are today. My name is Brad Pomerance. Thank you so much for joining us on Local Edition.